Hi everyone, it's Chris again. So here's a reposting for this video. As was discussed in the previous videos, look here for the title of this one to make sure you haven't watched it yet because these intros all look the same. Anyway, so here we go. We're going to be discussing this topic. The current course is cardio. That's what we're in now. We are in cardiology, which is what we're studying now. That's why I call it cardio, heart, whatever you want to call it. That's the subject that we're studying now in medical school. And so what that basically means is we're learning the ins and outs of the heart and the cardiovascular system. We're learning about the physiology of the heart. We're learning about the pathology of the heart. We're learning about the development of the heart in babies. Whenever they're still in the womb, we're learning about everything. So absolutely loved it. It's one of my favorite courses so far in medical school. Below here, couldn't figure out where I want to put it, so I'll put it here, is a link to a few different other people that are here on YouTube that have some really cool videos dealing with cardiology and dealing with physiology of the cardiovascular system. Definitely check those out. I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put the other one here, somewhere down in here on these two corners of the screen. So what those are is just basically a very good run through of the physiology of cardio, and those videos actually helped me a great deal. They're video series about physiology, and that helped me learn the ins and outs of it, and it helped me also be able to take it and put it back here on the board and draw stuff out that was really helpful with cardio. So check those out, and you'll know exactly the kind of stuff I'm talking about that we learned about. There's, of course, obviously a whole lot of other things for these videos. These video series are only a few hours long each, and we had 30 or 40 hours worth of lecture in cardio, but it gives you a good idea of what we were learning about. That's about what we're doing right now in medical school, so let's go ahead and move on to the questions. First question comes from a student that's in his freshman year at college, and basically his question asks, is medical school hard? In short, yes, absolutely medical school is hard. Now, there's different ways to define it as why it's hard. It's the material is challenging. Yes, that's absolutely true. There is a lot of information thrown at you very fast. That's also true. And it's just a lot of information just to keep straight. All that is true, and there's different reasons why it's hard. I would definitely say that you're prepared if you're accepted into medical school and you go through the admissions process, all that kind of fun stuff, and they actually accept you into medical school, then they know that you're qualified enough and that you're capable of doing it. And so it's not that it's challenging so much that it's beyond your level of comprehension or your ability to comprehend, because if you've gone through all the other courses, laying the foundation for going to medical school, and each course builds on itself, getting progressively more in detail about the different organ systems, then it's not that it's too challenging for you to be able to grasp, but it definitely is challenging. So that's one aspect. The material itself is challenging. Second aspect is the amount of material that gets thrown at you is also just tremendous. It's way more than what is thrown at you in undergrad, or at least it was for me. Going to Baylor, we had a lot of information thrown at us, but then here in medical school, it's just even that much more. In the past, talking to my parents and different friends that aren't in medical school and trying to relate to them what it's like per test is almost kind of imagine an undergraduate final. But that's every exam that you have. And that's about how much information it feels like for me that's being thrown at us. So I've had to adapt my study strategies to meet the demands of that. So I hope that answers that question. That definitely, yes, medical school is hard. It is worth it, and it is very rewarding, but it is hard. But if you get in, because the whole process, challenging process of getting in, which is hard enough on its own just to actually get an acceptance into medical school, then I'm sure you're qualified for it, and you'll be just fine. The next question comes from someone wanting to know about studying from textbooks versus PowerPoints, how I do it, what I think about that, and then relating this to biochemistry and studying for that. So for biochemistry for undergrad, we used this book right here for biochemistry for undergrad. It's a very thick book. I didn't study off of PowerPoints like I do now for biochemistry undergrad, just because the teacher didn't really have very good PowerPoints. It was more mainly pictures, so there wasn't really anything to study off of that. So I took very detailed notes out of this. I just sat down with it and took pages and pages of notes and wrote things on the side and highlighted and all sorts of other kind of stuff. So that's how I did biochemistry in undergrad. How I did it here is completely different. And I wish I had done it in undergrad like I did it here. What I did here is, one second, use a book like this. Now this is not the same book for undergrad as you can for biochemistry. As you can see, this is pharmacology. So this would not help you at all with biochemistry, but the same kind of general concept is these Lippincott series have a biochemistry book that's great. It's very to the point. It's very easy to read. It explains just about everything you need to know, and I think everything that was in here was also explained in undergrad, just much easier to read than this. I wish I had known about these kind of books in undergrad. I've never tried them in undergrad classes, and I'm assuming, I think that you're an undergrad from the comment that you sent me, so I don't really know. Take with a grain of salt that I say to use a book like this. Always use it with your main textbook. Use it as a backup or a supplement to your main textbook and to what your teacher is teaching. But something like that is very good. Now, if you want to talk about as far as PowerPoints, I have a PowerPoint here. And I have a NTS right here, and I'll show you what I mean by how I study off of PowerPoints. What I do is I watch the podcast, watch the lecture from my house. That's after going to class. Watch it here. So I've already seen it once, and I see it twice watching it here. And then what I do is I print off the PowerPoint as double page, as 2 to a page. So that's what this is here. It's 2 to a page the entire time. It makes it longer, but it makes it also a whole lot better because there's more room for you to write. So what I do is I take this, the PowerPoint, and then after I watch the lecture, I print off an NTS. Now, this is not the NTS that goes with this PowerPoint. It's a completely different one, but it's the only one that was in my big stack at the very top, so that's the one that I grabbed. Anyway, so what I do is I take this, and there's all the writing, as you can see, right? There's all the writing that's on here. And it's just page after page after page of writing of what the teacher has said in class. And I take it and I put it onto the PowerPoint. So under the PowerPoint I go through and I write myself little notes on the PowerPoint. Sorry, I was looking out the window. I don't know. I saw a car light, so I thought it might have been Michelle. So here you go. See how I just write a whole bunch of notes. I'll show you some more here. Just keep on going. I just write a whole bunch of notes all over the place in my own words, not the teacher's words, in my own words, so I can go back and understand it, and things that I can go through and help jog my memory when I'm studying. It's basically just taking notes. Taking notes all over the PowerPoint, like that, and trying to put what the teacher said, or sometimes going out of the book. If the lecture wasn't exactly all that great, I go out of the book and try to decide what I need to know. That's a little bit harder to do, but you can do it that way. So that's just what I do. It's this kind of stuff. If, for example, if there's something that the teacher made a point of, a disease process or whatever, that's something bad that you need to definitely watch out for, I write, something really simple here, like this is bad, this is not good. So that's just the kind of stuff that I go through, and then I tell myself at the very end what I need to sit down and study, what I need to do at the very end, and what I need to go back through the second time around. Don't worry, I know this video cut off pretty suddenly, but you didn't miss anything. It was just me saying thank you for watching.